Hello everybody, Proton here. Welcome to another Dokkan battle video. Man, these Windows 10 updates or Windows 11 updates are killing me. You know, I recorded this video a few minutes ago, just trying to basically let you guys know about some thoughts that I've had over the past few days regarding the pacing of the celebration and things like that. Unfortunately, I had a lot of good conversation points on that, but my microphone decided not to record, or my microphone was not being picked up by OBS because I updated my computer overnight. And I guess it's kind of typical. Every single time Windows 11 updates, my OBS has the sudden urge of disconnecting itself from my microphone. So we're back at it. I'm gonna record this again, making sure that my voice is being recorded. I'm just looking at my OBS right now, being terrified. So let's go ahead and talk about the upcoming content and my feelings regarding the matter. So we are only getting a Dragon Ball story event, which a lot of people are possibly speculating, well, not the majority of people, maybe just some people are speculating that we are going to possibly get something new out of this because of the DB story, right? I feel like we're just randomly catching up to all these story events, and they're just all getting updated to this Dragon Ball story method, so that way we can be able to get a free support memory out of it, awakening of a character, and free stones. That's all I feel that this upgrade is going to be, which is pretty good. Some of the characters that we have in game do Dokkan Awaken from this event. There's a lot of medals that you can gather from here, so it's nice that this is getting upgraded into a DB story. We're also getting an Extreme Super Battle Road stage 72 of Dragon Ball Seekers, and then of course we're getting an Intensifying Fights stage here. We already saw this from the preview from the Transcendent Dokkan campaigns, like little video package, and just as recapping and remembering everything that I spoke about in the past like 12 minutes on that video that I had to delete. I feel like the pacing of things have been a little bit lackluster, and that I feel is the issue when it comes down to the celebration as a whole. Just creating the sense of like engagement in the game makes it a little bit tougher to contend when you have to wait a few days or maybe a week for new content. So I'm gonna preface this data download that we have here. Just gonna put it as a reference, so that way we can be able to catch up on everything that has happened in the past week. So we had the Golden Frieza plus Gogeta. They came out on the 29th, and that was a little under a week ago, right? Everything regarding the celebration as a whole came out on Friday this past week. We had the summons, we had the events, the new missions for the Seriously Serious All Out battles, things like that. Everything was going smoothly there. And then, of course, now we're in this slow, methodical pace that Dokkan likes to continue on with. So we're also getting... Let me actually pop this in a separate window. We're getting the ECA for the Golden Frieza. So let me actually just pop him over here. He's not in the data download just yet, which is funny. So that means that we're going to get a data download. Actually, no, he should be in the data, which is weird because he's not in game. So I actually feel like we are possibly getting a data download regarding Golden Frieza's ECA in the next few hours. Okay, this is something that I didn't catch up on because he's not in here. He's not listed in the data. However, Dokkan, on their post over on Twitter, they did announce the ECA details for him. So everything is over here. It came out earlier this morning, but this is not in game yet. So, or like the details are not in game yet, and this ECA is bound to come out on the 3rd of September. So basically in the next few hours, this should be coming out. So this is not even listed as part of the details, and we do know this because of the campaign details themselves. If we go back over here real quick, we check the details, and over here we get the ECA for Golden Frieza at 4 a.m. my time. So basically, like, every single bit of the details is listed in the data. Now, this is something that I didn't read either. Stages 3 and 4 are going to be available on Wednesday the 10th, which means that we could be able to get something of interest. Dude, it has to be like a data download or something like next week or something to give us a little bit of the details for the next few stages coming in, the part 2 celebration, things like that, right? So this Ultimate Clash is not going to change. So there's not going to be a part 2. It's just an ordinary Ultimate Clash. We did get new missions for this, which again, I feel like this is just somewhat of the bulk that they are trying to cover for the next few days, since we don't have a lot of content. And it's this Festival of Battles mission, which again, it will take a little bit of a toll for people because it's an extensive event. People might have cleared it out already. Meanwhile, some people are still tackling it along the way. So yeah, by the looks of the data download and things like that, like we're seeing that we're going to get things, but it's slow. It's the same thing that happened during the Global Dokkan campaign. It's the same thing that happened during the anniversary, Golden Week, things like that. And the pacing is what's making the engagement or the celebration notices just a little bit more stale. That's one of my opinions regarding the matter, because we're getting a new Red Zone stage. We're getting the 2 new Red Zone stages on the 10th. And that is next week. It's not this week, it's next week. So this is the only content that we're getting. You know, Golden Frieza, getting a CCA, we're getting a new stage for the intensifying fights, we're getting a new stage added with this, and we're getting a new DB story. That's it. We're not getting anything else, which is crazy regarding that this celebration lasts a little over a month from now. Like, this lasts until the 29th. Close to this is when we're going to get the next Dokkan Fest exclusive, but we're also going to be able to get Dokkan Day, which will be the next celebration moving forward, and then it's going to be the end of the month Dokkan Fest coming in. So the reason I am making this video is like it's just more of a discussion point rather than anything else, because everything just feels slow. Everything just feels stale for some reason. And it's kind of upsetting because this is a big replacement for what's supposed to be like a proper celebration on the JP side, right? This is the Tanabata celebration that they were replacing. It was supposed to be like, you know, typically it goes pretty well in Japan when it was available, but now since we had the sync and everything, they had to reformat everything. And now we're celebrating the celebration where we're just utilizing Golden Frieza plus Gogeta. And Gogeta has the best lineup of characters that we can use him with. Now it's when Golden Frieza is going to be able to get some utility because of an actual decent linking partner in this LRECA Golden Frieza that we're going to get in the next few hours. So apart from that, we're getting a Super Battle Road stage, we're getting a new DB story, we're getting a new stage for the intensifying fights, but then we're not getting anything until next week. And that is what kills the sort of emotion or continuation of just playing the game in general, because right now the content that we had during the Global Dokkan campaign kind of kept us engaged a little bit, because, you know, apart from the attempt limits and everything, we had the Supreme Magnificent Battle stages, and those stages were pretty freaking difficult. Meanwhile, you fight Raditz, you fight Great Vegeta, those fights are a joke right now. Then we're gonna get against stages 3 and 4, which we don't know at this point. But during this time frame is where we possibly could start seeing maybe like a data download, maybe like a Dokkan Now preview for the part 2 character, if we're going to get a part 2, things like that. Which we are, of course, right? Because of Proton's little data download, we kind of know that the login screen will leave on the 12th. So at around that time, we're going to get a new title screen. By that time, we should know the second like headliner for the celebration. We'll see. But yeah, man, I feel like the pacing has been pretty bad. I feel as though they should have done a bit of a better job with supplying us with a bit of more decent events added into the game. You know, little by little, right, start to put some stuff throughout the week. I guess the pacing of how they think things is like, oh, these guys are going to get a new Super Battle Road stage, which, you know, should be fine, but people can take this down in like 10 minutes or less. The new intensifying fights, again, we're going to get a new stage, and this in particular kind of provides like a little twist. You had to do something during the fight in order for you to get a specific enemy, and then you fight them, take them down, and then you're done with the event in general because you're only interested in beating it once, get the stones, and boom, you're done. And same thing goes for the redstone stages, or the same thing goes for this ECA. I guess people are going to be using this guy's ECA, they're gonna play the game, they're gonna see how he works, things like that. Of course, I will do my showcase of him whenever we get him. But after that, that's it. Like, we're not getting anything else until next week. And I feel like this is what practically just kills the hype for the celebration as a whole, which is why I wanted to talk about in this video, right? Let me know down in the comments below how you guys feel about this. Like, I don't have a particular reason apart from just, you know, going in, doing my dailies, things like that. Actually, today I'm getting my 3,000th day login on Dokkan, and it's like, okay, I'm only gonna do my dailies. I'll possibly link level here and there, but then that's it. I'm gonna dip. There's nothing else that I can do, right? And again, it's kind of upsetting because it is a pretty big celebration for what they're advertising as it. But it is not particularly getting me enthralled with playing the game. So, of course, a lot of people are putting out their tier lists right now. I need to use Golden Frieza plus Gogeta a bit more in order for me to conclude whether this guy is like above or below the people that I think. I still think that he is in a decent spot, similar to what other people have placed him at. I still feel like the blues are still one of the best units in the game still. But again, that'll be another day that I will sit down and probably do my tier list. I want to do these guys a little bit of justice. I want to play with them and use them a little bit more so that I got some events that I can test them out with. I just finished link leveling them, so I will of course be able to like sit down and probably tackle it, but we're not feeling the heat technically. I'm not here like, oh, let me go into the game, right? Because we got a lot of enjoyment. This was done immediately, which I feel like that was a little bit of a mistake, trying to do this immediately for us to obtain all the Dragon Balls for Porunga. We're actually getting a new set this week. What is it, on Friday? Yeah, like on the 5th. So do we keep an eye out for it. We're gonna get a new set for the Porunga Balls, Porunga Dragon Balls. This is done, like most of the people have maybe been able to get it done. This is going out tonight, things like that. So this is actually very interesting, of course, right? He will show up in the coming summon event, which is going to be another banner. I'm assuming this is going to be the part 2 carnival banner, and he will most likely be featured in it. So we'll keep an eye out for it. It has to be like a, well, typically the theme doesn't have to be in relation to any featured characters unless there are certain spots to fill. But yeah, like the pacing for the celebration has been a little bit lackluster. People might be taking most of the time trying to take this down, which again, 2 to 3 hours time frame is what people take to take down this event. And I don't even, it's content, it's a new mission, right? But I don't consider it relevant. This is just a stacking simulator, I would say. Then you got Ultimate Clash, which is just a one and done kind of thing. Super Battle Road, intensifying fights, ECAs, new DB story. Those are the only things that are coming out this week. And again, quite frankly, I feel like this is not the pace that we would want to get from a celebration like this. And even then, Anniversary is just like this, Global Dokkan Campaign is just like this, Golden Week was just like this, where the pacing of things just goes slow for some reason. And then we have to wait until like the next 5 days so we can get content. Then things get stale, then we get part 2, stale again, we get the summons, then stale again, things like that, right? I wish they could change this kind of mentality whenever they're releasing like new content, right? So But yeah, apologies that I uploaded. So for those people who did watch that video, I appreciate it. But there was nothing. It was just the Persona music in the background. It was just me doing this all the time. Meanwhile, I was yapping and I didn't notice that my microphone was not actually being picked up by OBS. So apologies for that. But I appreciate you guys stopping by watching this one. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Shoutouts to Tech Guy letting me know that my microphone was not being picked up on this one. But yeah, we should of course get the ECAs for Golden Frieza later tonight. We're also going to be getting all of these stuff later tonight as well. I'm assuming the DB story is also coming out tonight as well. But yeah, I will make sure to include Golden Frieza, not the Golden Frieza plus Gogeta, right? The Golden Frieza, the AGO one, into the showcases that I want to do for this guy, just so that we can have a little bit of a fresh lineup. Now that, you know, Gogeta, we all know that Gogeta has like the best lineup of characters to help him out with on his partners right here. But of course, our boy Golden Frieza might not, and that is what we want to do with Golden Frieza. I want to be able to use him a little bit more, just so that I can differentiate who can be better. But this, I feel, is what makes reversible exchanges the uniqueness that it provides to the game, right? We have reversible exchange Goku and Vegeta like a couple of times, right? Caulifla and Kale. Those types of characters do have their own type of synergy, but I feel like this is a great use for reversible exchanges, because it actually just makes significance as to who you want to use, who you benefit from using the most, depending on each side, things like that. I feel like this is a nice little unit that provides the definition of reversible exchange. So yeah, I appreciate you guys stopping by watching this one. Sorry that the first video was not the greatest, so I'll put a re-upload on the little section there. I appreciate you guys stopping by watching this one. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Let me know down in the comments below how you guys feel regarding the pacing of things. I was also making a discussion of this, right? I feel like they scammed us a little bit with this, because we're using this as a wish instead of being given out for free, and I don't like that. That was one of the many key points that I pointed out here. Also, there's an issue with the global with the memorial stones being given out on JP. I think JP still hasn't received the shop yet, and there's still issues going on with it. So yeah. I appreciate you guys stopping by watching this. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys all in the next one.